Alright guys, I have a pretty cool helicopter to show today. It's a micro quadcopter, and this is the ready to fly package. It's the Heli-Max 1SI. This thing is pretty cool. It has video and camera on board. It's not FPV, but it'll take video and pictures while in flight. It also has intelligent flight. It has actual direction control, so it's basically flies without orientation. Where you push the stick is where it's going to go. And then it also has a return to pilot feature. So let's go ahead and get it out of the box, see what's in the box, and then we'll take it up and test it. Alright, so here it is out of the box, and as you see, we get an instruction manual, we get the transmitter and the helicopter, get some AA batteries, and a 2 GB micro SD card. Also get some spare rotors, some tools, a 350 milliamp single cell, and a charger. And then this little thing is actually a micro SD card reader with a USB port as well. Let me get this open real quick. And the micro SD actually slides into there, and then this goes into your computer. So it's one of the smallest little micro SD readers I've seen. And then we have the helicopter here, and battery tray is right here. There's a little opening for it. We have a camera on the bottom, and there should be a micro SD slot, yep, right over here. Helicopter itself is pretty light. It's actually feels lighter than pretty much any of the quads that I've had. It's definitely very light. With the battery it'll get a little bit heavier, but definitely a very light helicopter. And there's some settings you can do on the transmitter, like set up the sensitivity, and there's also, as we said, the go home and the actual direction control. So we'll go ahead and get the battery charged up and start testing this out. Alright guys, before we fly I want to show you guys a couple settings. First one being how to recalibrate your gyros. Sometimes they won't be perfectly set up, or they'll change over time, so if you want to recalibrate them so you get a smoother flight, go ahead and press in on the right stick, and while you're holding it in, press in 4 times on the left stick, and then also press up once on the throttle trim. Your helicopter is going to blink for a while, and when it's done blinking, press in on the left stick again to exit out of the calibration mode, and it'll be all calibrated. There's also a long transmitter calibration, because this has the go home feature and the directional control. There's also a transmitter calibration, but there's a lot more to it. It's in the instruction manual. So if you're having any trouble with the actual direction control or the return to pilot function, you might want to recalibrate your transmitter, which the instruction manual tells you how to do that. Another thing is setting up sensitivity. We have low rates and high rates. So if you want to get to low rates, start in high rate here, press and hold in, and it's going to start beeping. While it's beeping, set this to whatever you want. Stock is about 30, and now your low rate is set to 30% sensitivity. Press and hold it again, and now I'm at high rate. When it starts beeping, I'm going to put this up to 50. So I've got 30% and 50% sensitivity for my low and high rate. It says the standard or stock setting is 30%. So we'll see what the 30 and 50 feel like. And other than that, we'll go over real quick what the buttons on the transmitter do, and then we'll get it up in the air. Alright, so a couple more things to know about the transmitter and controlling the helicopter. This helicopter has active braking turned on from stock. Basically what that does is if you're pushing forward on your right stick and your helicopter is going forward and then you let go of it, normally your helicopter will just keep going in that direction unless you center it out. This has a braking function, they call it, so if you're pressing forward, your helicopter is going to go forward, but if you let go of that to center, it's going to kind of level itself out. So that's a nice feature, but some people might not want that turned on. So to turn off the braking feature, all you do is hit that F mode button, and it'll turn off that braking feature. You'll see a blink on the helicopter to signify that that turned off. Also, we have the actual direction control. You get into that mode. Normally from stock this is just in standard flight mode, but if you want to get into the active direction control, you put this button in, push it in for about few seconds it says, and then the helicopter's light will start to flash and you'll know you're in directional control. And now that's going to mean that no matter what way the helicopter is pointed, if you press the right stick forward, the helicopter is going to go forward away from you. no matter which way the helicopter is pointed. So we'll test that out. Also, we have the return to pilot, and for a return to pilot, you simply press and let go of this fast. It's not a hold, it's just a press and let go. And that should bring the helicopter close to the pilot again. And then on the back, we just have our video and picture buttons. So let's go ahead and get this thing in the air and see what it can do. Alright guys, so we're ready for a test flight. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the helicopter. And then we're also going to turn on the video. So what I'm going to do is turn on the video and then get the whole flight recorded so I can do some picture-in-picture so you guys can see what it looks like from the heli. So I'm going to press the video button, and it started blinking, so I should be recording now. I'm in low rates at 30%, which is where the manual said is a good place to be. So we got 30% in low rates here. And wow guys, backwards. I was flying forward instead of backwards. Let me bring it back here. This is pretty stable. It might need a couple clicks of trim. But that's hands off, guys. That's pretty good. So this is low rates, and it's looking like it's flying okay. Get a little picture of myself here flying around. And it says it has that braking feature where if you press forward but then let go, it levels itself out. So I'm going to turn that off by pressing the F mode button, and it just blinked at me. Now it shouldn't center itself as much, but I'm noticing it still kind of is. So that braking on or off doesn't appear to do much of anything because it's still centering itself. But you can turn that off if you want. I don't notice a huge difference. Whoa, 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 whoa. Got really close to my TV there. Alright, so feels a little, I don't know, smushy on the controls. The controls are okay, but it feels a little smushy, if that makes any sense to you guys. It doesn't feel quite as good or quite as connected as I want it. It's not really laggy because the responses are going in pretty quick, but it kind of feels mushy to me. I'm going to go ahead and put it in high rates, and I set that to 50%. So now we're in high rates, and red lights are forward, and we definitely, oh geez, definitely have more tilt. Get it up by the camera here. I just put it back in low rates because the high rates is tilting a lot. Very nice, hovers real nice and steady as you can see here. And that's hands off, but it's going to be moving off camera there. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's a little like mushy controls to me. I like it, but I feel like there's other helicopters and quadcopters, whichever you want to say, that just feel better in flight. I don't really like how this feels, but if the video is really good, we'll see how good the video quality is. As you can see, I can fly it around just fine. It just doesn't feel as good as some other quadcopters I've flown and helicopters I've flown. Let's go ahead and land it. And now we're going to put this into the actual directional control, or actual direction control. So when I press and hold this IMC button, it just started blinking at me. So now if I press forward, it should go that way, no matter what orientation the helicopter's in. So let's go ahead and try that out. I'm going to go ahead and pull it back towards me a little bit, but right now I'm going to spin it, and no matter what, oops, am I low on battery? It seems to be going down there. No, it seems alright. No matter what way I'm turning, if I press that way or this way, it's gonna go where I say. So as you can see, I can pirouette around, but still control it because the directional control. So the directional control does work. This could be good for seems like it's going backwards right now. I might have to reset that up. Go ahead and hold this down and turn it off. Turn it back on. It seemed like that little mini crash I had changed my directions on me. Now we're back to how it should be. So the directional control is nice. It definitely works, and it's just kind of like on the Blade 350QX. It goes in the direction you tell it, no matter the orientation. So that's nice, and that can be good for beginners. That does work good. Now let's try the return home function, or the return to flyer. If I press this top button, it should come near me. You can use your throttle while it's coming back to you, but once you touch the cyclic sticks, it's going to stop that return home. So that worked. Let me bring it over by the hallway here, and I'm going to press return home, and it's coming right to where about it took off at. And then from there, I think my battery might be getting low. From there, you take it over. It doesn't land itself, it just comes back to where the pilot is. So once it gets close to you, start using the sticks, because it looks like it'll come back and almost hit you if you're too close. I think we're low on battery again, but now again it lost where I was, so I'm going to turn it on one more time and just bring it over there and have it return one more time. Oh, doesn't want to turn off. I think it said I think it's saying I'm too low on battery right now. Alright, so go ahead and turn the video off, and we should have a video of that flight. Just give it a little bit of last thoughts here. Pretty nice helicopter, but I have to say I don't really like how the controls feel. I just have been flying a lot of micro quads. I've had the ProtoX, the Hubsan X4, the Hubsan X4 FPV, and they all seem to fly better, more connected kind of. This one feels mushy to me, and it kind of feels not slow on the response. It's weird because the response feels fast. When I input everything, it doesn't feel like there's a delay or anything, but it just has this weird mushy feeling to it. I don't really care for how it flies, and that's just my opinion. You know, other people might love it, but I think there's better options in terms of flight. But it does fly nice. The actual direction control, as well as the return to pilot, those functions do work, so that's pretty neat, and it would be great for all types of people, but I just think there are maybe some better other options out there. So that's the 1SQ. We'll go ahead and get this video up and show you some of the onboard video as well. Happy flying. I'll see you guys all later. Alright guys, this is a test of the video and sound from the 1SI. I put a light up to help the room. As you can see, it probably just looks really bright over there. So the room's a little brighter than it was before, and we'll also take this out in the hallway where I have a really bright area out there. So let me just take this up and fly it around for a little bit. Here, let's go ahead in the hallway and just see how it looks out there. Took a rotor off. I just popped it back on. We'll see if that fixes it. Alright guys, so that was the 1SI in flight. We'll see how the video looks, and I hope the sound is alright too. We'll just see. So happy flying everyone. We'll see you later.